Good morning, Palmer Ridge. I'm Nicole Ornstein.
And I'm Michael Rogers. Thanks for tuning into our show.
Colleges are starting to visit Palmer Ridge. If you are interested in attending one of the college visits, make sure to sign up with your Naviance account.
The annual Powder Puff game is coming up, and if you're an upperclassman girl and interested in playing, make sure you register in the front office.
And finally, if you are bringing an out-of-school guest to homecoming, make sure to turn in your guest registration form. Recently, our HOP took a different turn on their event, specifically the students who took a different approach on their art by focusing on a more pressing and serious issue. Here's Griffin with the piece.
Last month, Monument was host to many artists, many from our own district as well, including a new group called Student Swords. Student Swords is a not-for-profit created by students aiming to raise awareness of student suicide. They had student art for sale and 50% of the profits went to support their cause.
So we have a bunch of high school artists from both PR and LP, and they're here to sell their art. They get to keep 50% of the profit, and the other 50% goes to the program. It's called Student Swords, and it's a suicide awareness program.
It is a relatively new group created this summer. If you are interested in supporting them, or just curious about what they do, contact Miss Holly Young. For Ridgeline, this is Griffin Gottwald.
Art Hop is a great way for Monument citizens to not only portray their artistic creations, but the meaning behind their art too. Thank you for covering that, Griffin.
Thanks to the Board of Education, students at Palmer Ridge are used to climbing obstacles. However, for those of you who crave more physical obstacles, there's always Rock Climbing Club.
Among all the clubs, whether it's sports, music, or art, no club will give you the thrill like Rock Climbing Club.
As you can see, there's a lot of variety in Rock Climbing Club, and many different types of walls, such as overhangs, upside downs, straight up, and other fun things to do.
There's quite a lot of walls, but they're all based on different colors. And you can choose to just stick to one color climbing, or you can go a little farther and use all colors.
If you're looking for great heights, excitement, and a club that is different from the others, join Rock Climbing Club. This is Max Ashford for Ridgeline.
Thanks, Max. Rock climbing looks like a cool activity from down here.
When most people think of an ice rink, hockey is probably the first thing that comes to mind. However, we can't forget about figure skating, which is one of the other various sports performed on ice. Here's Nick with a take on skates.
It was a cold Saturday morning down at Monument Ice Rink this weekend, but the competition, however, was very heated as hundreds of skaters took to the ice for the Colorado Springs Invitational Rocky Mountain State Game.
This weekend's competition was fierce as the Monument Skating Rink hosted the Colorado Springs Invitational for skaters of various ages and skill levels. Throughout the competition, all skaters gave it their all and performed splendidly.
I'd just like to say that skating for me is more of a journey than a result-based sport. And like going through the ups and downs of injuries and like low years and high years, it's just so amazing to be able to get back out there and do what I love.
Several parents and coaches alike came to spectate the event as their children and skaters performed one after another. In the end, every skater put on a wonderful performance that was enjoyed by the audience and judges alike. With Ridgeline, this is Nick Richardson.
Thanks, Nick. It was really neat seeing people glide on ice so majestically.
Like we mentioned earlier, colleges are visiting Palmer Ridge. Nicole gave us insight on how our high school glory days don't last forever. Thanks, Nicole. It was really enlightening to see that piece. Now it's just time to apply that knowledge to application time. And for a wonderful, wholehearted weekly weather report, here's our watchful weatherwoman, Brinkley.
Good morning, Bears. I hope you all have a great spirit week. I'm Brinkley, your weather woman, and I have this week's forecast right behind me. Well, the pressure map shows us that there's lots of high and lows all over our nation, and there's a high pressure zone over Colorado, which means we'll have some nice weather. And the radar shows us that there's not much going on over the nation, but there is some over Colorado, and it could potentially hit us. But let's go check out the 5-day. Well, Monday will be a high of 60. Tuesday, a high of 58, Wednesday, 59, Thursday and Friday will both be a high of 61. Well, Bears, that's all I have for you this week. Whether you like it or not, that's this week's forecast.
Thanks, Brinkley. Some cold weather is coming up, so make sure your hot chocolate supply is on high and make sure you sit by the fire as well.
Well, that's our show this week, Palmer Ridge. Have a great week, and don't forget to pound the rock.
I thought we weren't going to say that.